With Nebraska wrapping up spring practice, the Huskers can now fully direct their attention towards the transfer portal, adding on some new players to this team going into the fall. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a loaded Big Red portal update. What's going on with Charmar Brown hours or days before his commitment. A couple other running back targets that Nebraska could be going after. Targets on the defensive line. What's going on with the 105? Are there some guys who are going to leave very soon? And so much more. We have a lot to talk about, talking specifically about the portal. But before I get into it, please hit that like button if you're fired up. I know I am. And really quick, if you support the channel, it takes 2 seconds. We post daily Nebraska football content. Please join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talk about Nebraska and the transfer portal. And let's just get into what you want to talk about, what I want to talk about. This is Charmar Brown. We can expect a commitment from him very, very soon. He's wrapped up all of his visits that he was going to take. He visited Miami early last week. He went to Nebraska on Thursday. He went to Cal on Saturday. And then he went over to Kansas State yesterday on Sunday. And I can firmly tell you that while Cal made a good push, along with K-State, it is down to Nebraska and the Miami Hurricanes. Now, listen, the thing that's going in Miami's favor is the money. They are offering more money to Charmar Brown than what Nebraska is offering. Nebraska has a budget that they're not willing to go over. Okay, so Miami is offering the most money. And that's hard to pass down, especially if you're a transfer, especially if you're a kid. Because to a lot of these guys, money is everything. A lot of these guys didn't grow up in great households, right? So they're trying to get a little bit of money, and they think that would go a long way. But what a lot of kids don't understand is the NIL money that you might get going to the portal is nothing compared to the money you're going to get in the NFL. But it is a fact that Miami's offering more money than Nebraska. That's been reported. So they have that box checked. But what Miami doesn't have in this recruitment is the relationships. Okay, Nebraska has built those relationships. Matt Rhule's been very aggressive going after Charmar Brown, along with E.J. Barthel. We talked about them going to dinner with him, right? Charmar Brown went to dinner with Matt Rhule, Julie Rhule, his wife, Dana Holgerson, E.J. Barthel, and our athletic director, Troy Dana. Do you think the AD at Miami even knows Charmar Brown's name? No. No. So listen, Nebraska has the relationships checked off. I think he's going to get more touches at Nebraska too. Miami has a better running back room. And Miami has screwed over transfers all the time. You know, if Charmar Brown should look over A.J. Allen's career. A.J. Allen was a former Nebraska running back, transferred to Miami thinking he was going to have a big role, and he got screwed over by Mario Cristobal. And he ended up transferring out. And that was one of the most talented running backs to ever come out of Lincoln. He was so talented. So, listen, Charmar Brown, if he wants to go a place that's genuine, that wants the best for him, he's going to come to Nebraska. But if he wants to go somewhere and get the guaranteed cash, and I don't blame him if he does, he's going to go over to Miami. We will see. I expect a commitment from him today. I expect a commitment from him tomorrow. I still feel quietly good about where Nebraska stands here. We'll see. I think it'll be a Cornhusker, but again, Nebraska, Miami, we will see on that one. So Charmar Brown, down to us in the Hurricanes. Expect something pretty quickly here. Now, if we do not get Charmar Brown, which still is a possibility, here are two running backs who I want Nebraska to consider. Dekeelan Taylor, somebody I talked about last week, but again, I really like this guy's game. Get transferred from Incarnate Word. He was a two-time All-American in FCS football. He's 5'9", 166, averaged 6 yards to carry, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. Listen, the reason why I like Dekeelan Taylor is simply this. Speed, speed, speed. Nebraska needs speed in this running back room. They need a change of pace from Evan Johnson. They need a guy who can catch passes at an elite level. This guy has returned kicks at an elite level. He's one of the best returners in all of FCS football. So if Nebraska wants a speedster, they want a guy who fits this Dana Holgerson offense, who you could put on jet sweeps, who you could put on, outside zones. This is somebody who would absolutely contact. And he would not cost you a lot of money. Trust me on that one. Nebraska, they've made it clear they don't want to spend a lot of money at the running back position. Cool. You can still get a lot of really good players, and this is somebody who I'd be very interested in. Speed, speed, speed. He'd be a nice little 1-2 punch with Emmett. He's not an every down back. That's not what you're asking him to do. You're just asking him to be a compliment. So that's what we could get here with Dekeelan Taylor if we don't get Charmar Brown. And then one more guy, Kadarius Callaway, somebody who I'm very interested in, transfer from Cal. Look at the stats from 2023. He had 600 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry and 5 touchdowns. That's legit. That's legit, folks. And he's 6 foot tall, 220. He can lower the shoulder on you. He's a short yardage back. This is your short yardage back who can come in here and instantly be running back too. I would be interested in Kadarius Callaway, so keep that in mind in the back of your head. So, again, I still expect Nebraska to take a running back, even if they don't get Charmar Brown. If they don't get Charmar Brown, I still think they'll take one, but they're going to be selective. They're not just going to take anybody, but they will take one. I truly believe it. It's not gonna. They're not gonna rush it either. They might take one now. They might take one in June. We saw them take Sia Wright back in June. So they might take a little bit of time with that one. But I expect them to add another running back going into the fall in whatever way. It might be a JUCO player even. We don't even know. So I expect them to add a running back. Now, as for the other positions, well, actually, really quickly before I get to the other positions, who is going to leave? Because at this point in time, it looks like the 105 is not going to be implemented. It's going to be grandfathered in, so pretty much nobody actually has to be cut, and the portal is actually already closed. So are we even going to see any more players leave? The question, I think that we still might. I have my eyes out for Turner Corcoran. I have my eyes out for Turner Corcoran and Teddy Prohaska. Those are the two I have my eyes out for, just because those are guys going into the last year of eligibility. They're not projected to start. Why would they sit on the bench? I just don't know. And those guys can enter the portal at any point because they're grad transfers. So those are the guys I have my eyes out for. Pretty much that's it. I don't think there's going to be another player that leaves for Nebraska. That's a very, very good thing. And you know what I'm excited about? This DB room, which was so competitive all spring, can continue to be very competitive going into the fall because you're not going to have to cut anybody in that DB room. So I'm excited about this. But again, the 105 is not happening this year from what it looks like because they're going to grandfather it in, which means it's going to take a couple years to set in stone, which means we're just not going to have to cut anybody, which is a very good thing for Nebraska. So I really don't expect any more transfers. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good job by Matt Rhule. He handled the situation very, very well. Now, talking about the other positions that I want Nebraska to go after really briefly. Again, let's go to the defensive line here. Let's go to best available right now according to On3 in the portal. I truly, truly believe we need a pass rusher as a 3 technique. We just need a true third down pass rusher. I'm not asking for a stud. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for a guy who can come in here and start. I know that costs a lot of money. I'm just asking for a guy who has high athletic upside, maybe 2 to 3 years left, who you can put on third downs and can get to the quarterback. That's what we desperately lack right now. The only guy you can feel comfortable about doing that is Williams Nwaneri. So, I mean, just looking at here, best available defensive lineman in the portal. You got a guy coming in from Colorado. You got Braxton Feely, who isn't bad from Boise. Let's see. I mean, you got some lower level dudes here. I'm not too familiar. Yeah, they're not great, but I will say this. There's going to be some more names added to the defensive line market. We know, again, grad transfers can enter at any point, so we could see a defensive lineman enter this week that Nebraska could pursue, but again, they're going to take their time. They don't have any urgency. It's clear that Nebraska was pursuing defensive line. They wanted a couple guys, but they just never pursued them very hard. They wanted the UNC transfer. They wanted a couple others. I do think they'll take a defensive line transfer when it's all said and done, but once again, they're going to be patient. They're not going to try to rush this process out. I want us to quickly look at the edge rushers. Who are the best edge rushers in the portal? According to On3, if it wants to load here. We got Cian Stone from Utah State. Kobe Stewart, who I really like. Come on, let's go get Kobe Stewart. Why not? Why not? Antonio Doyle. Look at that. Former 4-star recruit. That wouldn't be too bad. Bay Joby, who is a former big-time recruit, has not lived up to the hype. Wouldn't mind him. I think he's going to go down a level, though. So, yeah, those are the edge rushers, the defensive linemen. Not great pickings, but there's still going to be guys who enter over the next couple weeks, over the next couple months. And then offensive line, something that I think Nebraska would always be interested in adding. Again, the portal's not great here. You don't really have too many studs at that offensive line spot. Larry Johnson, someone who's actually pretty interesting coming out of Tennessee. Look at the interior spot. Let's see here. Best available. Not much. Again, there's not much. You got a Virginia Tech guy just entered. I wouldn't mind if they added an offensive lineman. I just don't know if they're going after one, to be honest with you. But I think if there's one positional group that you want to continue to add talent, it's on the offensive line. You should never be complacent with what you have. And then, of course, last but not least, the punter position. We have no idea what's going on at punter. And this is the one guy I have my eyes out for. Again, this is James Ferguson coming out of Boise. He's a rugby punter. Somebody tampered here. He was the starting punter for Boise for a couple years. Somebody clearly tampered. It could have been Nebraska. I don't know. This is the one guy my eyes out for. Again, he averaged 44 yards a punt, long of about 70 yards, 16 punts inside the 20, so pretty good punter. If it's not him, I think it's going to be a punter who's never played college football before. They're just going to ship somebody in from Australia. So we'll see what happens at punter. But I can firmly tell you that I truly believe that Nebraska will add at least 3 players to this roster. Going into the fall, they will add a running back in some capacity. I believe they're going to add a defensive lineman in some capacity, and they're going to add a punter in some capacity. I think there's going to be 3 players. we will see what happens. Again, Nebraska's added guys. I mean, last offseason, how many did they add? They added Sear Wright in the summer. They added Mekhi Nelson in the summer. And they added David Hofkin in the summer. And I might be missing one. So they added 3 last summer. I think they're going to add 3 again this summer. So, again, I don't think that's like a hot take to say. So, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Talking portal. Things are getting quiet here. We're on Charmar Brown watch. But let me know your thoughts down below. What are you thinking? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go be grab, go Matt Rhule, and I'll see you in the next one.